Hi, this is John Moore, Original Project Manager and Fundraiser for the fountain at Thornton Park, and today we're going to talk about replacing an LED Bollard light. First, we're going to go through the tools that you might need to do this, as adjustments have to be made. We started originally with halogen lights, and thankfully LED lights came along because the halogen lights would produce so much heat that it would ruin the rubber seals and have to be replaced every 3 or 4 months. This should only have to be done every year or two. The first thing that you're going to need is to open the Bollard, and to do that you're going to need hex wrench. The second thing that you'll want is either WD-40 or a PB blaster to loosen the hex nuts. You'll need some wire pliers. You'll need something to make adjustments on the LED light hanger because they don't manufacture the light hanger that we originally purchased, so it has to be modified somewhat. So you'll need some kind of cone drill or Dremel with a stone head, and maybe even both of them. And to remove the old light, because it's all corroded, you'll probably need a metal grinder, a grinder that will cut metal. You'll also need some high quality Scotch tape and self-fusing splicing tape. You'll need medium waterproof connectors and terminal grease to keep the water out of the connections. The replacement light that I'm going to put in is this LED product, 489808 Mirage 6 watt 60 degree 3000K small shroud integrated LED light. And here is the light itself, and here is the company Outdoor Lighting that we purchased it from. And now they're going to move, but they're very helpful. I would suggest that you stay with them. When you take old light that's gone bad, they will help you, give you some good advice on what products are good replacement products for it. So now let's take the first step, and we're going to move over to the electrical box, and just a real brief review of how to shut the water off, because you'll want to shut the water off obviously before you get started on this project. You're not necessarily worried about the lighting side of it because we're doing this in the daytime. Hopefully you're not doing this at night, and so that timer is already shut off. So let's walk over to the to where the electrical timer box is and show you how to shut that off. So here's the timer box. This is the main, and there's a separate key for it. It will shut off both the water and the electrical. The water for the pump is on the left, the electrical is on the right. So what you'll need to do is get that open with the correct key. Open it up. Now I've already taken the on key off because I've been working on it, but I would suggest you take this and unscrew it and set it underneath here until you're finished. That way, if it turns out to be a multi-day project, the water won't automatically come on the next morning. These two boxes here are transformer boxes, and there's an extra one here in case one of them gets blown out. And what these transformer boxes do is reduce the voltage down to low voltage, which is what the LED lights require. So now that you see how to switch on and off the water here, and it's with this switch, and it's off now, we've got the water off, it's dried out, so now we can go back up and start working on replacing the LED light. Pause. So now we're back at the fountain and we're ready to start disassembling this. So we're going to take the proper hex wrench for the hex screws, and there's 3 of them. Here, on each side, and one here. Now on this particular one, this one's frozen. This is why you need this to spray in there, and while you're doing it, you might want to go out and spray the other bollards to keep them functioning. So you go in and unscrew these little hex screws with your hex wrench to loosen this top plate. Now fortunately, on this one, we can get this off with just 2 screws being loosened. So we do that. We take the top plate off, set it aside, and here is the old LED light. Now you can see, because water splashes over the fountain, how corroded it is. And it's on a hanger system. On this plastic sleeve here. So this was so corroded here, hanging through here, it had a lock nut on it. That's why I had to use a grinder to grind that hex screw off. Then once I got that out, of course, they don't make this anymore. So that is why you need a cone drill or a Dremel with a stone head to widen this hole so the current light end will fit through it. So here we are, we've already done that. So here we're going to go ahead and thread this.
Now the light comes with the hood, right?
Thread this, yep. And the lock nut, can you pause it? Oh, here it is, never mind, here. So the lock nut, and this is one reason that you'd want to stay with outdoor lighting, is because this lock nut that fits this doesn't come with the kit, but when you describe the job, they'll help you and say, oh, by the way, you're going to need this. And it's a good idea to take this cage into them when you do. So you say, look, this is what I want. They'll say we don't make that anymore, but this is the replacement for it. So I'm putting that back on here. Now you'll notice there's a screw here that where you can adjust this forwards and backwards depending on, you know, how you want it angled up there. Then you just take the 2 wires, and you'll see I've already done it, and just, it doesn't matter which one goes to what, but put the wire the 2 wires together. This is the original one coming out of the ground. This is the one to the new light. Wire them. Be sure to use your terminal grease in there. You're going to wrap it. Then you're going to wrap it with the Scotch tape, and then seal it with the splicing tape. You want to waterproof this as much as possible because this gets extremely wet. Then slide the wires back in, drop it, and you'll see a little notch here where this hangs. Drop it down there. Now what you want to do is, I've already done this, is before you tighten all this up, is go back over and flip the lights back on to make sure that you've got a good connection and this light is working, okay? I've already done that. This light works. Now, this light came with this hood. It was on the top, and you're going to need, before you place it in there, it has a little screw on here. You'll need to loosen that screw and take this hood off. You don't need this hood. You cannot put this top back on it with that hood on there. It protrudes too much, and it won't work. So here we go. We're gonna stuff this back down in here, hang this down. Now we put this back on. Point it. Make sure you point it towards the upper bowl. Then you come back, tighten these screws down, and you're done. It's that simple. So that's how to replace a Bollard light. Please check out the other YouTube videos that will be coming about how to replace the lower bowl lights. We'll have one for the upper bowl lights, how to do a deep cleaning, painting, regrouting, and other functions to maintain the fountain at Thornton Park. Hope this helps you shorten your workload on this. Thank you.